But some boy feel like them know so when them see me say let vibes cartel, them carry on a start well. Gunshots send them to hell. 45 Huskel.
What them do, them road bad man. Them no want me shoot bad man. Tell them be one that man. If them boy play bad man, smash the place, 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 smash the place. What them do, them road bad girl. Them get sack, them play bad girl. But they drop them not bad girl. When them tap them a pop bad girl. Knock them out, 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 knock them out.
Nozzle plus a hippie, yeah. Vibes cartel and missy, yeah. Player hit a punk, I get kick until them dizzy. If you kill bad man, afraid fi bust gun. When me a come, no stand up, just run. If blood spill, me get accustomed. First serve to first come. AK rifle is me long gun. Magnum 4 caliber me handgun. One shot ship, knock up a plane, land down. Bulletproof, bust up like a condom. General, me bad man. We are the general, we bad man. Decorated with hearts of metal. We are bad, not stain of metal. General, we bad man. We are the general, we bad man. Decorated with hearts of metal. We are bad, not stain of metal.
Yes, smash the place, smash the place.
45 Huskel.
Some bad men they like to pay. They don't worry me when they say. Then they like me, men they like they. I they better than take my pay. Fuck them all and that's what I say. Now I see that it ain't easy. Everyone plays a part in our day. Humpty Dumpty, we need every piece made. Some people are rude on the road though. They're gonna get to the floor. Some people are rude on the road though. They're gonna get hurt a lot more. Some people are rude on the road though. They're gonna get hurt a lot more. Some people are rude on the road though. Gonna get that hit to the floor.
Fire, baby.
What's going on, Conscious Crew? Welcome to another riveting episode. It is your favorite breakdown commentator, CTV, and you guys already know what we're here to get into. Before we do so, please go ahead and run the likes all the way up. Thumbing up the video not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are thumbing up the video, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another Conscious Crew member and telling them to get their black asses into the sanctuary. If you also enjoy everything that Kane does here, you can always donate to the platform at $Consciouztv on Cash App and or paypal.me/ConsciouzTV. And of course, that's Conscious with the Z on the end, spelled just how it is here on the channel. All donation information and social media handles are in the description box below, as well as at the bottom of this live stream, scrolling from right to left in red and white. Also, make sure that you have your notification bell set to all so that you never miss a day or hour when the King is in fact King. And last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that be your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your MySpace, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you lay the link. Just let them know that we're out live and in color. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
is going on, Conscious Crew? Happy Wednesday. I hope everyone is having a wonderful hump date. It's been a beautiful and a very calm hump day. Just a very calm. I feel real rested. I think we're going to go live again after this. I do have a special guest here, honey. He is no stranger to the platform. He is a Conscious Crew member. He's a prophet, and he's told his story here once before, honey. And there's been a lot of things that have happened since the last time he was on the show. So we're going to catch up, honey, and get into some things. Now, before we do so, I have to address some things and bring you guys up to date, because you guys know that I am giving you guys the 1212 on this frivolous $88 million lawsuit that is trash, that Dr. Reid's former mentor, the bishop with the arch in his bike, okay, filed against damn near half the goddamn church sector, girl. It has been a mess, and they can't even get this thing off the ground, okay? Yet alone begin the weird litigation that's going to ensue, that's already backfiring in the bishop's face. Okay, now you guys know I can keep you guys up to date with all of the logistical, procedural, and technical issues with this suit, honey. The man hasn't even established jurisdiction. I mean, people have been improperly served. They've had to request a second summons because they did a bunch of foolishness in the last summons that could jeopardize the case. It could also lead to criminal and civil charges and cases launched against the plaintiff in this case. I mean, it is a mess, okay? Well, I woke up to even more news, okay? Because you guys, if you thought that this suit couldn't get raggedier, because I told you guys, it's one logistical issue after another. Oh, baby, no, baby. The bishop is not done, baby, okay, with this raggedy suit that he clearly had drew up at Bella Noche's. And if you can't go to Bella Noche's, then where can you, in fact, go, you all? All right? But check this out. Check this out. Check this out. This was sent to me, okay? Because you guys know, all things are alleged here, child. There's an alleged suit, child, okay? I don't know nothing about it, okay? But check this out, girl. Clerk's quality control message. You see the date. The request to issue summons filed by Helen Sutton on this date here was uploaded prior to being flattened. Before uploading fillable forms to ECF, you must flatten the file to prevent other users from manipulating or editing the freaking information. The easiest way to flatten a PDF form is by selecting print to PDF and saving the flattened form. Other PDF software may differ. Please visit our linked website under flattening PDF forms for guidance. Your document has been corrected. This message is for informational purposes, aka for damn dummies. You guys, the summons requested by this fool they resubmitted and was uploaded in the wrong PDF format. The clerk had to fix it. And they're notifying Bishop's team because the way they uploaded this freaking file, anybody could have went in and just started typing away, girl. Anybody, anywhere, all over the world, girl. So the damn courts had to give these attorneys, girl, a hooked on phonics play-by-play on how to actually file and in what format to file and where to file. Okay, so that these dramatic issues could not be had. Now, mind you, we're not even talking about litigation at this point, you all. There hasn't even been litigation. We're talking about they can't even file the suit correctly. To hell with defamation and conspiracy in goddamn Rico, right? How can't y'all even file the correctly? If it was not already bad enough that the suit got kicked out of New York into New Jersey because it was in the wrong jurisdiction, only to be in New Jersey without jurisdiction over none of the defendants because they're all scattered about the damn world like infinity stones, to then having people improperly served, compromising his entire case, and then trying to get ahead of that by requesting a second summons, and then doing so still without establishing jurisdiction and a message, a quality control message from the courts themselves. Baby, I just don't understand you guys. You know, yesterday or day before yesterday, or whenever the hell I was live, we had to have a conversation and ask what bar did Bernard's attorneys pass, because it's not the state bar, that's for sure. We went over whether it was a Klondike bar. We went over whether it was a salad bar. We went over whether they passed a buffet bar. We went over whether it was a metal bar, whether it was a copper bar. You know, we were just trying to figure out, girl, whether it was a gym bar, because whatever bar they passed, girl, it was not the state bar. Now, I don't know whether these are, the only way this shit makes sense to me, though, I mean, and literally, you guys, I'm getting calls from attorneys every single day who are hollering every time, girl. Every time. There is something else with this case, okay? There are literal attorneys who are now referring to the case as a fake suit. It's not even it's not even logistically strong enough. It's not factually strong enough. It's not grammatically strong enough to even be taken seriously by any reputable 4 to 5 star attorney, girl. Like, people eyeballs are out of their head who've been doing this for 10, 20, 30, 40 freaking years. A whole hot mess, okay? And for those of you who are just joining, as a brief catch-up, girl, not only is the case continuing to be raggedy, girl, and the courts are having to correct this, throw this out, remind them of this, they're having to redact that, resummons this, request this. But Dr. Reid also has just gone ahead and waived goddamn service, girl, because he's tired of watching his former mentor embarrass himself, and he's ready to wrap this up, girl, by Thursday. So Dr. Reid has officially waived damn service, okay, to get this over with. And here's the gag about Dr. Reid entering into litigation is that pretty much once Dr. Reid gets this thing dismissed because the suit is flat, it's substanceless, that's practically going to snatch the entire lawsuit down for everyone, because the Arch is accusing Dr. Reid of being a ringleader. The ringleader to the RICO, the ringleader to the conspiracy, the ringleader to the blah, 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 blah. When they can't prove that against Dr. Reid because there is no literal, factual, evidential, anything to corroborate, legitimize those allegations, because that's just not the case here. The rest of the defendants, girl, will be set free because he doesn't have a case without Dr. Reid. The whole case centers the allegations around Dr. Reid. And then, of course, I'm allegedly listed as commencing to defamation. But ironically, every single thing that is alleged against me were things that came directly out of his motherfucking mouth from those audios, verbatim, which you guys hopefully will have a chance to read for yourself if his attorneys do not attempt to settle with Dr. Reid. Because if not, a transcription for all to read and all to see are going to finally be made available for the church sector to gawk over, for the blogs to gawk over, for every pop culture, trendy news media outlet to gawk over. And what's in those audios will no longer be allege. They will be provided for your viewing pleasure. Okay? The case is ridiculous, CTV. And you are doing excellent commentary and staying on their necks. As always, thank you so much, Tank. Thank you. And shout out to everybody in the building. I forgot I had a chat, girl. I'm so focused tonight. I forgot I had a damn chat. Hey, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Okay? So I just had the girl to just catch on, girl. The case has been struggling since February, girl. They can't even get this thing off the ground. It is a hideous ghetto mess. And that's why his little minions, girl. That's why they don't have much to say. Okay? This is why they don't have much to say. What can they say? They can't even glamorize what's taking place because it's that non-intellectual. It's that raggedy. Now, speaking of minions, right? No Neck James, child. No Neck James done blocked me, y'all. He done blocked me from Patreon. Why No Neck James done block me? I thought all was fair in love and commentating. Why did No Neck block the king, y'all? Baby, I got an old neck. I was sitting here minding my business and y'all too and got old nasty piece. An email telling me that Satanic James done blocked the bitch, girl, straight up out of the Patreon. Hi, Consciouztv. We're writing to let you know that your membership to the Satanic James Show has been canceled because the Satanic James Show has blocked you from their account. Why? What? You don't want my $3.99 in this economy? My coin ain't enough. It ain't good enough. But No Neck James, No Neck James gonna send me the Black Nation? Why? Why, y'all? What is going on? Satanic James, girl, it's a little bit too late. I had already been in there for 3 days, dubbing everything that needed to be dubbed because, like I told you, the attorneys are going to be running you an old nasty piece of a subpoena because you have been used as a minion and were stupid enough to be public about being a minion, and you are a witness, an intimate witness to the conspiracy against myself and Dr. Reid. So I was requested by the attorneys to go in and to fetch all of the necessary and very point-specific interviews, shows, uploads, etc. So I want to welcome you to the Ponderosa. I guess you thought I was joking. Remember last week I told you, I said, girl, you better hope that your master is not serious about this suit, girl, because, girl, you will be testifying before Congress, okay? You will be sitting down for a deposition. You will be handing over Zelle and Super Chat records and Cash Apps and PayPals, you know, all of the transactional situations in which you've collected money on while you were out here attempting to do and execute the RICO that your FRICO leader has been alleging that we've been a part of, that there's no evidence of, that he's actually guilty of. See, y'all were stupid to galvanize like Votrons against Dr. Reid. Y'all were stupid enough to come together as a cabal. Y'all were stupid enough. Where's that receipt? Y'all know I love this receipt, baby, because it cackles me. It blesses me down under. Where's the receipt? Y'all know I love this receipt, this particular receipt, because it's just how idiotic these people have to be. Y'all were stupid enough to come together in the name of trying to smear Dr. Reid, weaponize y'all platforms against him, and then your cult leader is so idiotic that he was stupid enough to Cash App y'all and Super Chat y'all out in the open while y'all were actively dragging Justin D. Edwards, who is another defendant in this case. Oh my God. And we know, Satanic James, that you know all about it. You have been on the front lines, okay, since last year regarding this whole thing, while pretending to be neutral, but having that one neutral behavior and one neutral action in sight. But you definitely effed all the way up the night that you went live and you trashed that man, and then you had to turn around and apologize to that man and admit to the public that you were sent on a dummy mission and you didn't have no information, never heard no audios, and had no facts, and had an incomplete story, and had made a fool of yourself. But then you put your own fat ass cankles in your mouth because you jumped on Wilhelmina platform after you apologized to Justin D. Edwards and continue to support the smear campaign against himself and Dr. Reid, while your cult leader was paying y'all hundreds of dollars to actively commence to the spreading of disinformation and misinformation and slander. So this reverse Uno on the Rico and the conspiracy, baby, is going to be epic, girl. I know that your lower intestines dropped out of your bussy when you saw my name in that Patreon lineup, huh? Like, woo, child, girl, you felt the danger. Okay, you felt the danger in your lower plexus, in your solar plexus, okay, where your intuition is supposed to be, but it's probably where the remainder of some man's semen still is to this day. All right, you and Wilhelmina wanted to play stupid games, and we're going to ensure that you guys, in fact, are gifted very stupid prizes as a result. So I want to tell you, Satanic James, let me blow you up when I say this. Whoop, 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 whoop. Thank you for your services. Goodbye. All right. Now, are we ready for the guest, or is there something else I need to get to? Bloop, bloop, bloop. Nope. I guess we can bring my old nasty piece of guest up, girl. He is no stranger to the platform, you all. Okay? You have heard his story. Matter of fact, his story kicked off a series of other stories that I have had the privilege of being told and being communicated to. And this man now, unfortunately, himself has found himself in the thralls of someone he once trusted, someone he once beloved, someone who he once respected, and is now being punished for simply communicating his truth and his lived experience. I want to welcome no other than Mystic and Prophet James, or some known as Jimmy Singletary. Hi, James.
Hey, Conscious, how you doing this evening?
Which of the J's do you prefer, James or Jimmy?
It doesn't matter. Those that love me affectionately call me Jimmy, but to
Okay.
those, it
I
doesn't.
like James. I guess because I have an uncle named James, and then my grandfather's name is James.
Preferably. James.
All right. It's James to me. How you doing, Prophet?
I'm well and well. It is beautiful. Life is good over here.
Yes, life is so good. It was a happy Tuesday. Now I'm gonna say even happier.
Yes, it was.
Wednesday.
It's a happy Wednesday over here. Oh, yes, it is.
James, I'm surprised to see you look. I mean, you're looking refreshed. Your skin is glowing. You don't have a noose around your neck.
No,
You're not bald. You're not gray.
No.
You're not stressed. You're not under a rock. You're not in a crazy house.
No, Conscious.
Wow.
And I will say, truth. If you love somebody, then truth is the second in command of your love for them. If you really love them.
If you really love them. Jesus. We're going to get into that love word. We're going to get into that love word. Yeah. All right, so let's get into the mix because we haven't seen you since your legendary interview. The first question I have to ask you is, there's an alleged lawsuit listed against a lot of people, allegedly. Yeah. Were you surprised to hear your name listed in this alleged suit? Like, were you expecting that? What were your first thoughts when?
Because I know the person behind this lawsuit, doesn't surprise me. it wasn't surprising because that's what they do. You know, people do what they do.
Tell us, expound upon that more. Why are you not surprised?
Because of history, because of the type of person when he is upset and on a mad day. This is typical. This is typical.
You and the Zoe ministry members shared with me in y'all's interviews how retaliatory and malicious this man is, how he uses spirituality and prayer and God to curse people when he's in his get back energy. I mean, you guys pretty much demonstrated an aspect of the arch that is and can be argued to be a spiritual gangster.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I wasn't surprised at all when these turn of events came about. But nonetheless, Conscious, what I take comfort in is truth, and truth don't need a cosign. The truth never needs a cosign.
The truth never needs a cosign. Yeah, but ironically, your truth got major cosigns. Your truth got major cosigns. The irony is that your experience got major corroboration and cosigns.
Absolutely. And those who know, as they say, those who know that was around that time. So it didn't surprise me when my first appearance on your show, it didn't surprise me what was going to happen. I was prepared mentally and spiritually for this type of battle with him. I was prepared.
I was prepared.
And still prepared.
Still prepared. What was your emotional state? Because I know that when I spoke to you and the other Zoe ministry members, that a lot of you guys really still held no malicious feelings toward him and no vengeful feelings. You just wanted, if anything, maybe some accountability, some ownership, some emotional closure to what took place, to now see that even all these years later, that rather than give you guys an honest and integral, emotionally available conversation and apology, instead he sues.
Yeah. My emotional state with this is, like I said, it didn't surprise me that this was going to come down the pipeline, but my emotional state of being with this is that this is to be expected from such behavior from him. And for the other ex-members to corroborate my story, their experiences of how they dealt with him. But my personal experience really got him to put me in this lawsuit because of my personal experience with him.
Yeah. You got him up off his feet. That's how I know that what you said helped major weight, because he needed that. Yeah. What have your family thought about this? Like, have there been conversations between you and your relatives about what's going on right now between you and Arch?
Absolutely. My relatives at this point, from what has transpired leading to this lawsuit, I know that he has threatened them, bullied them.
Really?
To silence me, back out of it. And as I told my relatives, one of the things about being a prophet and a true prophet, one of the things that one of the tests in truth is when you have to stand on truth. A lot of times, Conscious, people are afraid. The first thing is fear. The second thing is what is the collateral damage it might do? Hold on, I apologize. What is the collateral damage it might do? The thing is that I told my relatives, I won't be bullied into silence. I love him. Again, this is because I love him. Love doesn't mean that you agree with everything, but love confronts where there is wrongdoing. And for me, being a prophet, if I'm a friend to everybody, I'm a friend to no one.
To no one. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
If I'm your friend and I know you're doing wrong, then I'm really not your friend.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
If you're sitting back and observing and allowing that loved one to go down a road that you know could be
Exactly
dangerous, that is not love. Yeah.
Exactly. So with them,
love is corrective.
yeah, and with them, I had to tell them at the end of the day, I'm going to stand for truth, who likes it or not.
Yeah.
I can't be bought. I'm on nobody's payroll.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't buy me.
No RICO and conspiracy here.
No, and when we look at that word, because he put that in a lawsuit, I will say this, Conscious Crew, good evening, y'all. First of all, I will say none of the 8 defendants in this case have any personal relationships. That's number one. Let me establish that. Because let me go to Rico Conscious. Rico is
well, some of us have relationships, but we don't.
Some of us do, but to say
but some of us do not even know each other, have never communicated with each other, have never even interacted.
Right. And RICO stands for Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organization Act of 1970, U.S. federal law designed to combat organized crime. You're accusing us of organized crime. I don't know you personally in your personal life, Conscious. I don't know Larry in his personal life. I don't know Justin Edwards in his personal life. I don't know Thais Jackson in his personal life, or none of the other defendants personally. I don't know. For you to put that in your case suggests that we were working behind the scenes to take you down. And as I've stated on all of my lives with you in interviews, this is not a takedown. However, there is proof that you're behind the RICO.
My God. My God, today.
And it's proven.
Yeah. There's lots of evidence.
Yes, as a citizen of the United States of America, where I'm domiciled in, and a citizen, if my name is called to the front of the class, I'm going to answer to that. And I'm not backing down. I told Larry on the last platform that you watched when I was on with Dr. Reid, I will not be bullied into silence by nobody. It's my truth, my experience with this man, and still love him. But at the end of the day, if I continue to step on my toe and I know it's hurting, and there's something wrong with me. So,
well, you've done a very brave thing, especially being someone who knows how this man gets down, and you still came forward, still stood on business, still shared your experience to contribute to the truth as you know it to be. That's really, really what courage and righteousness really is. And that's really the act of a prophet, is correction and holding together a principle and ensuring that righteousness is prevailing and is at the front of the line for a community. So I appreciate you being brave of faith, non-spiritually dangerous this individual can be. Absolutely. Great analogy they're saying. Tawana says, the beautiful thing about truth is that truth always prevails and is anointed to stand alone. Oh, but that simply explains CTV. Yeah, that simply explains
that part.
Yeah.
That part.
All right. So there's been a slew of interviews, Prophet Singletary. There's been statements made about you in those interviews. Where would you like, is there anything that was said that you would like to elaborate on and speak to?
Okay, so going back to our first interview, just to give history, Conscious Crew, when Conscious and I went live the first time, Bernard had, since 1996, of December 31st, Bernard accused me of stealing the church's equipment. And what he didn't tell y'all or the church members of Zoe Ministries is on December 31st, after a conference at the Crown Plaza Hotel in 1996, on a wintry night that we have just finished ministering, and checks was being handed out by Bernard. And he told me that he wasn't paying me to take the equipment back to the church. I was a musician at the church along with Minister Deborah Charman at the time, and everybody else had gotten their checks. I didn't. Told me, take the equipment back to the church and I'm not paying you for whatever reason. What I've experienced with him and many others that have come forward to say in terms of how he handles business, we're dealing with Gemini energy, two persons. And that what he did not know was I had bills due the following month, which was January, the top of the new year in 97. So what I did was, because you did not pay me, I took the equipment, pawned the equipment to get my money's worth of what you owed me. And there's a term that, Conscious, I want to read to your audience about employers that don't pay their people or their subordinates or employees. It's a term that is very familiar. It's called, when an employer fails to pay you for work you've already performed, and is commonly referred to as wage theft. So that Sunday morning, he sent his henchmen to look for me. But you carried that narrative that stained my name for a number of years behind that, and never told your people the reasons why. And this is a pattern, not just with me, but others that have come forward have also explained the same pattern. So I want to quickly address that. And then also in this case, I want to address, because specifically in count 4, paragraph 175, he goes back to the conversation you and I had. It says, James Singletary appeared as a guest and made the following statements concerning plaintiff. Bishop has been a queer his whole time. This goes back 40 years. That's bullet point A. Bullet point B, ask Isaac Jordan, Bernard molested him. Now, with that being said, his brother, which is another receipt, who I feel is family to me as well, I love him dearly. He's expressed that, it's been said by others that have come to me, that he's expressed what has happened as well with him and his brother in the family. But he was also in the chat, and Consciouztv has receipts for that.
Oh, are you kindly referring to this particular live stream here?
Yes.
Oh, you're talking about the brother of the younger brother of Bernard, who has a YouTube channel called Isaac Ain't Playing, who was in that live chat while you were elaborating on how there was talk amongst the church at that time that there had been some things that transpired between Isaac and Arch, and then Isaac was corroborating in real time what you were saying about his experience with his older brother. You're talking about that live stream?
That live stream, yes, on December 6th, that live stream. So I'm corroborating what his brother said. His brother said these things.
And his brother is corroborating what you said.
Exactly. And
ironically, we don't see Isaac listed anywhere in as exactly. Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
Very interesting.
My God. Continue on. Well, actually, before you continue on, before you go any further, Prophet, I want to expound upon your wage theft situation, because you know the bishop really thought he had one there. First and foremost, just to speak to how integral you are when I asked you verbatim, did you reimburse yourself by taking that equipment? You said I absolutely did. You ain't
I
run
sure
from
did.
it. You ain't hide it. You ain't try to fluff it. You ain't glamorize it. It's simply, I did it. I did it. I did it. And guess what? He has cited interviews since and tried to say, oh, who would say that out loud? Don't you know? Arch, don't you know that there's not a damn thing that you can do with that? Because guess what the statute of limitations are on wage theft in New York? New York is where y'all were, right?
Exactly. 103rd Street and Riverside Drive.
6 years. How long ago was this wage theft incident, James?
1996.
Oh, wow. So not only is there a statute of limitations of 6 years for wage theft, but hell, even larceny and theft in general also has a statute of limitations of generally 5 years, 2 years for misdemeanor. My God. So sorry, Arch, that window has certainly passed. Continue on, Prophet.
Right. So that happened, and he had went on St. James's live here recently, and he began to talk about me for about 5 minutes, talking about that very thing, about the theft. And his statements were, who would brag about stealing church equipment? Why don't you? And this goes to gaslighting again, to make himself, this is classic narcissistic behavior. And he did that. So when I heard it and my wife heard it, we heard the live stream, I just shook my head, conscious, like, this is classic Bernard Jordan. Will gaslight, never apologize, never see where he's wrong. The other couple that was on there, the Charmans, can attest to the wage theft, because they admitted, and they said on your live how he did them wage wise.
He did. They did. Yeah.
These are their words.
It is.
So it establishes pattern with him.
Yes.
What he was afraid of, and I think this case, along with Larry, I don't think Larry knew to the degree of the amount of pain that
he did not. He admitted that after your interview and the Sharman's interviews, it really hit home.
Yeah, he didn't realize the amount.
He actually cried. He cried over y'all's experience.
Yeah, he didn't realize the damage that we've experienced, only to see how, when I saw what was being done to him, I said, that is classic BJ. That's classic. That is so 80s, 90s classic of him. Yeah.
My God, today. Well, speaking of the Sharmans, such a lovely and godly couple, they have also let me know and let Larry know, to let them know when and if their services are needed, because they standing with it and they standing behind it. And if Bishop think this is gonna be easy, or thinking that this mess he's conjured up is going to somehow scare people and have people crawl into a hole, absolutely not. He prophesied that all of y'all would return. He just didn't know that y'all would return to call his ass out.
That part.
Yeah.
And I think, Conscious, again, this whole thing, I still love the man. I don't hold no ill feelings. It was an experience that I learned from him. I learned what not to do. How about that? That was the lesson of what not to do. There are lessons, there are blessings, there were lessons learned. But what I will say is people have the right to speak up for injustice.
Absolutely.
And there was injustice done to me. I've forgiven him for it. There was injustice done to you, done to Larry. And I feel, as a prophet, and to some of the ex-members that have come forward, I feel as a prophet, in order for there to be justice you have to confront what's injustice to the person doing injustice. And I won't back down from the truth. I'm just not. I won't be bullied into silence.
So I'm not clear. What exactly is he accusing you of? Because once again, I haven't even read the suit.
Paragraph count 4 is defamation per se against defendant James Singletary. Bulletproof 175 on December 6, 2025. And I'm just reading from the first Conscious. The same broadcast described above, defendant James Singletary appeared as a guest and made the following statements concerning plaintiff. Bishop has been a queer his whole time. This goes back to 40 years. Bulletproof point B, ask Isaac Jordan, Bernard molested him. These statements were presented as factual assertions. Each statement was false and plaintiff did not engage in the content described. The statements expressly identified by plaintiff by name and were understood by recipients as referring to plaintiff. So that's where I come into this phony RICO.
But you know what's interesting about that, James, is that that's also completely false. You never made any of those statements emphatic. You always cited that this is what was being said. Exactly. This is what was being told. This was according to what you heard. This is what other people had heard. You never emphatically said anything. You wouldn't dare even speak that way. And because you weren't speaking emphatically, that's why Isaac said what he said in the chat and said, I have proof. It was Isaac who wanted to make an emphatic statement and to absolute those claims.
And Conscious, the type of person that you are, because you are a true journalist, you did offer Isaac to come to the front of the church.
Sure did.
On numerous attempts in that live.
Absolutely.
And he never responded.
And guess what? And not only did I offer him to come up, I also offered it to Arch himself as well.
Exactly. The
platform was open for everyone who was part of the subject to speak to rectify, to clarify, to etc.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened on that live.
My God.
So that's how I got brought into this. But this, like I said, my emotion.
I ask you this question too before we go into that, because remember we kind of had a conversation. I think we had a follow-up interview too, and when we talked about Isaac, and I said, I think one of the reasons Isaac never hit that link is because he knows how his brother is, and now considering that his brother is in his retaliatory bag, and in that audio, his brother makes it clear that he is malicious, he is retaliatory, he does like to get his lit back, he does want a death by 1,000 cuts unto his enemies, and that he does plan on getting Larry, Justin, and Matthews back and to give him to 2027. I now know damn well why Isaac didn't hit that link, because he didn't want to put up with Mad Day. He didn't want to put up with the reverse Uno. He didn't want to put up with a religious narcissist attempting to punish him for his own story and his own truth.
Exactly. And that's my belief of it too, as well.
And Isaac is old as hell, so I couldn't, I completely understood why he just like, you know what, I know what this is going to look like if I really put both feet into this, and I don't.
Right.
I don't want to. Yeah.
And that's my personal opinion on the matter. Is that Isaac did not want to, because he knows what his brother is capable of.
My God. But ironically, despite Isaac seemingly corroborating what you were saying, Isaac is not in that lawsuit. It's interesting. What do you think of that? What do you think that means? Is it that the Arch doesn't want to open up that can of worms? Because obviously, if you sue Isaac, you're going to platform Isaac, and then Isaac gets to provide whatever said proof he claims he has for one, and you open up a whole nother theater. It's a whole nother production, baby.
Conscious between
we're gonna be in the hood now, baby.
It's a SMD. It's a SMDH for me. I'm shaking my head. I'm just
Yeah.
like, wow. It's a wow for me. Wow.
Wow.
It's a wow.
Yeah.
It's a wow. But what I will say is that these reindeer games, and I prophesied it back when we went live, and I said about March, April, this is gonna, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, you did. You did. Have you heard from other Zoe ministry members? Has anybody contacted you? Have you spoken
Other
with
members
anyone
have
else?
reached out to me and basically said, thank you, Singletary, for being the voice for us. And we're still processing trauma from Bishop Jordan. That's it. Thank you.
Wow. Some people are even apparently seeking or planning on going to therapy.
Exactly. Yeah.
My God.
Exactly.
Do you think that there will be any legal action taken against him from any ex-ministry members? Do you think that that'll be something that will happen?
Possibly, because now we're in the age where you can speak up and address your accuser. You can speak up and address your abuser. You can speak up and get comforted and get closure.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Well, who knows? The rest is still unwritten. Now, speaking of that, I've been telling the people all of the logistical issues and craziness and mania of the suit, which is absolutely out of control by every measure of the word. There have been 2 people so far who have been improperly served. That would be Justin D. Edwards, who is a defendant, and that would be Pastor Calvin Blake, who is also a defendant. Both were improperly served and have evidence to prove of improper service. But I learned the other day, Mr. Singletary, that you also were improperly served, sir. That I did not think that these people would make this mistake a third time, but this also corroborates this corroborates my hypothesis on why they requested a second summons, because now, as a result of me putting them up on game through my commentary, that there are civil and criminal penalties to trying to defraud the courts, which is what the courts consider it to be. And we're talking about federal court here. We're not talking about local court. We're not talking about state court. We're talking about federal court. And New Jersey on top of that, who has very harsh laws around process servers, improper service. This leads to a litany of penalties, from the process server being barred from serving, to criminal charges against the process server, to sanctions against Bernard and his attorneys when they realized that all this could be challenged and that the courts would not just at face value accept service, especially if it was challenged by any defendant. Baby, we got a second summons to start the process all over again, with the hopes that it would undo everything that happened with the previous summons. You also were improperly served. Let me show the people what service is not, okay? This is not service. You cannot duct tape a summons to someone's goddamn door and doesn't even know if this is even their damn door. Do you know how many addresses are under people's names? Do you know how many residences are under people's names? This is why the courts would not accept something this flimsy. What evidence do you have that an individual, that the individual in the summons lives at this particular sad address and just duct taping with one strip of tape a summons? They didn't even courtesy this with an envelope, okay? And just slapped it there. Now, look at how flimsy this is. This is absolutely so ghetto and so hood. I refuse to even believe that the sheriff did. The sheriff would never, okay? Not in Alabama and not in South Carolina. The sheriff would never. So the fact that this paperwork is wide open for all to see, not even in an envelope, with one strip of tape, stripping it down to the damn door. Are these people okay? This people is what service is not. You can see how easily serving someone this way could be compromised. A maintenance man could come by and knock this off. Kids running by through the hallway could come and knock this off. Somebody else who lives in the residence could take it off, sit it on the table, and never even get to the defendant. The weather could compromise. This paperwork is only being held together by a damn strip of tape. This is why the courts would never accept something like this as service. It has to be intimately and physically and materially handed to the individual. The defendant must know that they have been served by the state of New Jersey. Okay, and this is why on cross-examination day, for instance, Justin, who has a default against him as a result of an improper service that he now is going to have to challenge, there's going to be a cross-examination, and the judge is going to ask the process server to describe to describe Justin, the same way that a judge is going to ask a process server to describe Pastor Calvin Blake, the same way that the judge is going to ask and would ask the process server to describe James Singletary. You got to tell me what this man physically looked like. You got to tell me what he had on that day. Most process servers actually carry body cam footage now. Most people also have door cam and ring cams. They can prove what's happening outside of their damn door. Both Calvin and Justin have physical evidence. I know my properties are heavily surveyed, so you can't just get away with a process server just slapping some shit on a windshield wiper or throwing some shit on the porch, but then claiming to the courts, hey, I physically served this person, and then they're going to sign off on a sworn affidavit. This is literally lying and defrauding the courts.
And what's interesting about that is that I was informed of that by a neighbor, a former neighbor. So that's why I reached out to you, and they took the picture. The picture was taken, and again, this goes to show how the third Avenger in this thing, this frivolous lawsuit, he's reaching. And Conscious, again, the truth needs no cosign, and I think everybody is mature enough to know on this live right now that this man is reaching. You grasping for straws. You really are. You're grasping. You're grasping.
You're grasping.
And like everybody has waved a white flag in lives past before all of this jumped off. Leave us alone, we leave you alone. Well, all of us left you alone, but what I will say, Conscious Crew, is what y'all are not privy to is the cyberbullying behind the scenes that this man does, of why many of us are coming forward to answer to it, because it's the bullying, it's the narcissistic behavior, the gaslighting that y'all do not see that is going on, particularly concerning me. I'll speak for myself. Behind closed doors, behind this. So I'm not afraid of this man. I fear no man. But I will have my day in court with him.
Oh, you will have your day in court.
Yeah, the prophecy will come to pass of all of us gathering, but it won't be for that.
Well, you mean all of y'all gathering?
Yeah, all of ex-members gathering, but it won't be for that.
Because, baby, I'm a ghost. This is all alleged. This is all alleged. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it's all alleged. And, you know.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. I mean, you have, been privy to all of the, to all of the conversations. Nobody knows why this man is doing it. I mean, there's almost not one person that understands this. There's not an attorney. There's almost not one viewer. I mean, I was even in Satanic James Patreon, and the night that the Arch did, I think it was the first interview addressing the whole intimacy with the other person on the phone, and he narrated that as we were doing karate. That's why we were on top and bottom of each other, but still didn't explain why you were also begging this individual to tell you how it felt when y'all kissed. But another story for another day. There was a comment section in a thread under Satanic James Patreon of even somebody was gagging and was like, I was sliding down the wall when the Arch said they were doing karate. And even Satanic James had to say, I knew that wouldn't go over well when the Arch said that. Even the minions are like, come on, brother. Come on, brother. Like, you know, the minions can't come out and full out just be critical thinkers, of course, because they have a biased side in the Pledge of an Allegiance. So they're barred from being able to really assert their critical thought and to assert the obvious. But with all of the craziness behind this, why do you think this man would sue the truth out of all things? It'd be different if he was suing a lie. That's what a lawsuit is for, to confront lies. In this case, we're talking about the total confrontation and head-on collision with the truth. Why would someone do that, James?
How does, to answer that question, Conscious, when a person is not ready to live their truth or a truth of a matter, a person will galvanize whatever defenses that they may use to keep the truth concealed. When I've learned, and I'm turning 50 in June, and I've learned that when you live in your truth, there's so much freedom. You are free. And it's better that you tell the story on you than others tell the story on you. It's better that you put yourself on the proverbial chopping block and say, hey, I did it. When you asked me, was the equipment taken? It was me.
Yeah, I did it. I did.
And the reason behind that many of his followers that still follow him now, because that was a blanketed rumor, that was a rumor in the church, but the other portion of that truth was you didn't pay that man. Only to find out that there were ex-members that are corroborating their truths in that pattern line.
Yeah.
So make it make sense. I think for him, to do all of this to this extreme, in his mind, he feels like, I mean, who knows what he's thinking, but I guess the one thing I could say is it to hide that you may lose everything by living in a truth? Who knows? You know, who knows?
I have a theory. I have two. One is that he filed a frivolous suit knowing it was frivolous, which is why it's so raggedy. It's clear that they didn't take their time on it, which is why it's going through so many logistical, it's having such a logistical and procedural challenge moving through the system. It's obvious that the suit is not designed really to be an actual suit. What it really, in my opinion, is designed to do is to get everybody into a settlement, to get into some injunctions and some gag orders so that the Arch can ensure that there is no more future hemorrhaging from anyone. And he wants that added security. He knew he wasn't confident that he would get that by simply shaking everybody's hand behind the scenes and just everybody going their separate ways. Getting the courts involved allows there to be some authority behind any agreements that are made about what happens next. So I think that may be one of the reasons, and the only reason that this frivolous suit was filed was to get to the settlements and to bring some authority behind the zip on everybody's lips.
I've thought about that too, that same theory, Conscious, as well. And I'm seeming to come to that conclusion as well with that theory. Also, the fact that you stand to not only, you are hemorrhaging, but the hemorrhaging didn't come from us.
Come on now. You're
clearly,
walking heavy, Prophet. You're walking heavy.
Yeah. The hemorrhaging didn't come from us. It was out of your own lips, Bishop Gordon, that you said that you had payrolls that you could not meet, that you had to pay tax debts.
That's not alleged. That's not alleged. No alleged. Those are all his words. Yeah.
Those were your words.
Yeah.
Your 60%, because it's also stated in this lawsuit, there's a 60% drop in your church membership. I'm going to say this. It's been proven in 2016 through your finances what you do. It's records. You can't blame that on the people. The issue is that, and this is my opinion, the issue is you don't know how to go away quietly because your ego, your prestige, as you think, you don't know how to walk away quietly. This all could have been avoided had the behind the scenes conscience crew. This all could have been avoided had he not did what he was doing behind the scenes and still doing behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, because he meant his get back. He said,
He said that.
He made a promise. He made a promise, a full promise. Yeah. And this is a part of the get back. My second theory, Prophet, was this may be a cultural and legacy suicide mission from someone who is tired of living behind 4 layers of illusion, and someone who retired from being a Christian a very long time ago, because I don't believe that the Bernard today definitely is a Christian. I believe that the Bernard today is a occultist cosplaying as a Christian because it's easier to grift as a Christian. It's easier to galvanize and to steal and to defraud people and to play off of the naivety and the hope of people's dreams in order to leverage your economics. And I believe, and I can see from how Bernard has maneuvered, that he is a strategist. He knows exactly where the hearts of the Christian people are, and they're considered sheeps for a reason. And I think that it's just he's just being an opportunist by cosplaying. But I don't believe that he is a Christian, and I don't believe that, for one, because hardly nobody who experiences Bernard's teaching can really see the Christianity. A lot of people walk away feeling like this is something else. This is another type of spirituality. It's labeled Christian, but really when you get into it, it's really metaphysics, it's mysticism, and all those are aspects of Christianity. But what really topples it over for me was a truly aligned Christ consciousness filled man would not be vengeful. This person is completely filled with rage, revenge, has already displayed great deception in multiple relationships, and he is all ego, and that's why he is committed to getting Larry back and getting Matthew back and getting Justin back. Where is the consciousness of Christ? Where is the spirit of the Holy Spirit? Where is the compassion? The man said that he was in therapy for 9 months and came back angry, came back with a strategy and an agenda to get his opponents back. How could a seasoned Christian, Holy Ghost filled man who's almost 70 be capable of being this egotistical and narcissistic and emotionally driven? Not to mention that this whole controversy centers around an entanglement with another man, while he's out here bragging about being faithful to one woman and one woman only.
I don't know, Conscious. Again, I have a SMDH behind even that, because it's like Gifts and callings come, first of all, without repentance.
Without repentance.
God never takes the gift from you. What makes the gift is a perfect gift given from God to people, but it's people that wield that gift on a day-to-day basis that determines whether that gift is viable or detrimental at the end of the day. And it goes back to character. It goes back to integrity. It goes back to, and especially being a prophet or a metaphysicist, knowing spiritual laws, then you also ought to know that when you throw out something like this with no merit, you also, being that you are a master, as you have, as others refer you to be,
from master prophet to master manipulator.
Yeah. Then you also know that with something like this case, it's going to do just that. The metaphysic law of throwing something out to stick and it don't stick comes back to who? The sender.
It already is. I don't think that Bishop considered that he actually is attempting to legally attack spiritual people. That it actually explains why the lawsuit it can't even get in the air, get along, pull out of the airport. There are so many spiritual people listed as defendants, real spiritual people, deeply devout, seasoned, committed.
Conscious, we quote this scripture loosely, the Isaiah scripture, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. But if you read further down, it says, in every tongue that rises up against you in judgment, God will condemn, for this is the inheritance of the saints, and their righteousness is of me. That's the other part of that. The weapon this is a weapon. The weapon is formed. The issue is it's not prospering. Where until you send it. There's righteous people in this case that God is adjourning and adjudicating this case, because God also knows the intent of the person who launched this case. And that's not to take away from his spirituality. I think for him, he needs to go somewhere, go get help, make right with the people, because at the end of the day, as leaders, this is, and just coming from a leadership standpoint, I have to give an account for those that I lead on my watch. The account comes back to me on that day of judgment. Because to whom much is given, much is required of. And if we're not leading, Jesus said, you know a tree by what fruit it bears. And if we don't see the fruits of Christ, you're just a gifted metaphysic person, metaphysician. You're gifted, but if we don't see the character and the fruits of Christ, of mercy, grace, and truth, and justice.
That part.
Because love conscious crew makes you deal with truth. The second layer of love is truth and transparency. The third layer of love is into me, you see, intimacy. And if I'm going wrong somewhere, and if you love me and do not warn me, I need to question your love for me. Seriously, I need to question that. Because love does not say go along to get along. Love says that when you are moving against the energy of God, you are moving against the energy of God, and let's get back to right energy. And this is where you made your wrong with. I think we run to God and ask God for forgiveness, and that's all well and good. But when you have wronged people on earth, you have to go to them It's the Jesus way. Go to them and make atonement.
And his Bible tells him that, though, prophet. It says, if you have sinned and offended and transgressed your brother 77 times, you go to your brother 77 times. If you need to forgive your brother 77 times, you forgive your brother 77 times. Those are his scriptures. And one of the cardinal rules of love is do no harm to no other. So how can you have an intent to hurt and harm 3 people and then file a frivolous suit against 8 people, some people who literally have nothing to do with this, literally nothing to do. Nobody on the defendant list has anything to do with this, but there are people who absolutely, literally have nothing to do. They're just literally on there because they're around, not even because there is anything. So where is, once again, I call into question, where is the Holy Spirit here? Where is the godly spirit? Where is the spiritual hygiene that Arch has preached recently that everybody else needs, but he's so spiritually funky himself?
I will say this. Again, it goes back to the attributes of Christ. Jesus is the embodiment of truth, love, justice. Yes. And when we look at that scripture, because you quoted the scripture 70 times 70, what that simply means is as much as needed in a day. At that, the original writing says in a day. At that.
And forgiving you don't mean I gotta fool up with you.
That part. So when I said
I ain't gotta fool up with you 70 times 70.
Right. So when I said I forgive, I really forgive that man from a place of love and still love him. The love doesn't, when you really have a heart of love, the love doesn't. I still love him, but because I love you does not give you the right for me not to confront injustice. That's all.
And you're not going to be a historian visionist just to serve his ego. You're not going to edit history just to make his ego feel better and to make him look better.
That part. You
can love him, and the truth and the history is still the truth, and the history is still the history. What happened still is what had happened. What got said is still what had got said. What got done still is what got done, and still love you. Still love you. Still love you. But the 2 things be true at the same time. I love you, and what you did is what you did. Those things exist on the same spectrum.
Exactly.
And that's all that y'all came forward to do, is to testify to y'all's truth.
And we still have our First Amendment rights. Which is freedom of speech, and a person's truth on their account of what they've experienced, they have a right to it.
Yeah. And just because his ego is bruised, does give him the right to file a suit, because anybody can file a suit, just like anybody can file a police report. But it does not give you the right to win. It gives you the right to file.
It gives you the right. Right.
You can file because your butt hurt and your feelings are hurt because you don't like what's being said. But you don't have a right to win, and there's no way that you can win because you're going up against the truth. Now, the gag about it is you have multiple people to corroborate your truth. Who's going to corroborate his?
I don't know, Conscious. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. My prayer is that, and it has always been through this whole experience, and I'll say this and I'll get ready to wrap up. My prayer has always been, Conscious, is that, including myself, harm no one, lead with love, and be truthful at all times, even if it hurts. I'd rather the hard truth than a shabby lie.
A feel-good lie. Just give me the hurtful truth over a feel-good lie.
Yeah, give me the hurtful truth over a feel-good lie, because it gives me the chance to confront me, the person, me, Because if more than one person is corroborating their experience that matches
Mhm.
my experience and others' experience, then one, my father used to say these words: when you go point the finger, you got three pointed back at you.
Yeah.
And in this case with Larry, Larry had the right to choose and do whatever he chose to do, to whatever extent he chose to do it, and to end whatever relationship he chose to end with Bishop. At the end of the day, that's Larry's choice. But
Absolutely.
to galvanize, to go through a full onslaught of Larry's enemies, and align with Larry's enemies, makes me believe the whole entire time that that was the game plan. Because if you do it once, you do it all the time. And I'm clear. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm clear.
I have one more question for you, Prophet, and this has been
Oh,
good.
last question. Last
question. So he has a new summons. So this erases all the other previous attempts. You got to do this all over again. If in the hypothetical that you were to litigate, do you plan on countersuing Bishop for weaponizing the courts against you, for pain and suffering, for wasting your time and your energy with his foolishness? Is that something that you are looking into? Is countersuing him?
I'm in talks with my attorney right now about that. To just be frank and honest, I'm in talks about that because at this point, I got drug in because I get on the show and tell my truth about theft of wages, and then Isaac, his brother, says I have proof. So make it make sense.
You're not talking about this brother here, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, my thing, and I'm gonna give a prophecy live right now.
You always do.
To all the listeners. We've been the root word is harm no one. None of us has harmed you. The prophecy in this is that it will come to talks immediately. Because the heavens are saying enough is enough. People have to get on with their lives. I'm trying to, I'm getting on with my life. I'm living, life is lifing.
Yeah.
And if you can galvanize, you're 67 years old, and whatever measure of whatever ounce of wisdom you may have, you say that you're God's leading prophet, then listen to the voice of the God that you claim you worship and you claim you serve. That same God should have told you, live your truth. Whatever truth it is, live your truth. And harm no one, and make right who you have harmed. Because they're ex-members that are triggered all over again.
Yeah.
I just happen to be the voice that said, and I will say this to the ex-members as an apology. I apologize to you guys. Me, the prophet, that while this was going on, I was silent. So forgive me. And I hope that with me coming forward can be a bridge of forgiveness and a bridge of truth. And that's it.
That's it. I want to thank you so much, Prophet. You're always so gracious.
I love you guys, Conscious Crew.
And we love you too. We are keeping you in our prayer, and we are claiming victory over all things and a rebuke of hell and all of his angels.
Yes.
All right, Prophet. Tell the wifey I said hello.
I will.
Stay blessed.
I will. Love you.
That was Prophet Singletary. You all, my God, today. Look, man. Y'all, any questions? Any questions the Conscious Crew have? More logistical. Hold on. Let me pull up the docket again. More logistical issues. Let me pull up. Where's the docket? This thing is still, they can't even file this thing correctly, y'all. It is, let me see, where is it? Oh, here's the docket. Boom. Baby, the courts had to correct this crap again. They can't even file this thing right. I mean, it's just one thing after the other. New summons. Don't know, though, if that erases the old services because, baby, let me tell you something. If Justin, Calvin, and James challenged that service, somebody going to jail, baby. Somebody's going to jail because 3 times a charm and improperly serving 3 different defendants absolutely establishes an intent and a intent to deceive and defraud the federal freaking courts. Okay, this is not what service looks like, you guys. Once again, this is not service. I mean, the art should be embarrassed. Embarrassed. I mean, you might as well just put the paperwork in a pigeon's mouth. Put the paperwork in a pigeon's mouth, baby. A mess. Are there any questions that you guys have before we get up out of here, honey? Any questions at all? I'm going to continue to bring y'all the news to talk and use, honey. You just can't make this kind of stuff up. It has been a crazy, crazy Wednesday. You guys, I guess, are good on the questions, honey. I have cleared and clarified. I love you all. You guys can bless the king, honey, okay? Because we working night and day over here. Big wheels keep on turning. You can hit that Cash App. You can hit that PayPal. You can always follow me on Patreon and on Instagram. Consciouztv, spelled the same way everywhere. And I love you guys. I will see you guys later. Peace.